We also respond to requests for help through Skype, telephone, or email. I remember one of the member care guys down at my friend Rob in Orlando. I said, "What do you do all day? What's a typical day like for you?" And he said, "I spend a lot of it just answering email." And he was responsible for 400 some missionaries. So I just want to read just a couple of examples of some of the email requests that I get. Here's one from a missionary in Indonesia. "I've been asked to be a mediator at a meeting between a father and his adult daughter. They are a Mennonite family that live and have culture very similar to that of the Amish people. There are 11 children in the family. Anyways, as I was considering helping this family, I wonder what input you would have for me in this role. If you've written anything up already, please send that." So I looked through my Amish Mennonite family file and nothing in there. And she said, on a different note, "I was just thinking of something you shared with me this morning." It was through an email. "My sister's husband died last night, and I'm sad to hear the news, but also trying to figure out my role in this situation. She is the main character, and I'm a supporting role." We talk about that a lot in conflicts. Are you the main character in this drama, or are you the supporting character? This was a simple but helpful thought to me as I consider timing in coming back to visit and encourage her. Here's a missionary, a guy, he wrote to me. He says, they're going back to Ecuador. And he says, "Now after 2 years, we are getting ready to go back to Ecuador." They've been on home assignment. "And this is what I would like to talk to you about. Our youngest daughter, Sarah, is really struggling with having to leave her friends and activities here in the States, and makes no secret about her revulsion toward going back to life in a tribal location." I remember this girl because we had met them one time as a whole group. They had to walk 30 to 45 minutes just to see a dirt road. They were really out in the jungle. "I know that in a way it is to be expected. I struggle with going back myself, but lately she has seemed less and less interested in spiritual things. And when I asked her the other day if she was still reading her Bible, she said nope. When I asked her why, she says, because I'm mad. I'm mad because we're going back to Ecuador and it's his fault," meaning God's fault. "As I write it on paper, it sounds like something a 9 or 10-year-old might say, but Sarah is 14, but could pass for 19. I tried reminding her of some of the ways the Lord has so clearly answered her prayers and shared that I have also struggled with the idea of going back. But even that, but that even though we may do something different someday, for the moment we have commitments to the people who are counting on us being there. I also tried to talk to her about the fact that Jesus understands what she is going through because he also had to leave a place where he was comfortable and everything was right to come down here to save us. I tried not to say too much, but later on just went in and gave her a big hug." He goes on to write more about it, but he wanted to know what advice would I have for him. Here's another one. This person's writing back and said, "I shared your paragraphs that I had written to this missionary about the difference between goals and desires with an Indonesian friend here who is in a difficult situation. She asked me to write and thank you. Keep writing. Your words bring healing and truth and life to others." That just made my day when I read that. Here's another one. It's from a guy in Africa. He said, "It's no secret that our field is a very difficult one. My wife, I won't mention her name, has struggled here for many years. We've been here since 1999, but especially now without any of our kids here. They are young adults now making their own decisions, but also all 3 of them not walking with the Lord anymore. Of course, this weighs heavily on our heart. As we contemplate our future after this term, my wife is very sure that God is telling her that she will never have to come back to Africa. She feels that he has released her. I see her continuing to struggle, miss our kids, and long for Canada. I do not have the same assurance or confirmation from God about leaving Africa permanently. I'm trying to be open to him, but at this time, my wife and I do not see eye to eye on this matter. I guess what I really want to do is to make the right decision for the right reason. That's where I'm confused. Do I pack everything in and leave Africa because of her struggles, and thus mine, even if I do not have confirmation from God? Or is that my confirmation from God? Do I follow her lead on this, or God's? Or are they one and the same? I'd like to talk to you about this." Another missionary wrote and said, "I'm not sure what your normal procedures are, but I'm wondering if you would be available to talk on the phone with me sometime. We've been back, and my husband and I and the 3 kids are back After 2 months stateside, it seems that I'm not processing all that took place last year so well. It's been a difficult few weeks back. I would like to process the situation, and my response was someone who knows of the circumstances here, but is not so close to the situation that it creates baggage or distrust for someone else. If you would be available, I would really appreciate it. All that to say that that's a lot of the things that we do is trying to help people when they have needs. And a lot of times, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm not an expert. That's where prayer comes in. It's just really giving us wisdom on what we can say that could be helpful, given the limitations of the communication that we're limited by.